Hello everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to my Beautiful Nights channel. For this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to make these really pretty Preciosa bicone rings. I got these bicones from beadingschool.com by Erica Sandor. The bicones came in these two boxes called Sun and Moon, and they were completely loaded down with Preciosa bicones in three different sizes, 3, 4, and 6 millimeter. I'm going to put the video of me opening those two boxes down below in the description bar, and also I'm going to put a picture up now of all the beads that I got in those two boxes. I'm also going to leave a link to the Sun and Moon subscription boxes down below in the description bar. And by the way, you can buy them separately. You can buy the Sun separately, the Moon separately, or you can buy them together. And if you do buy them together, you get a free tutorial. And they are not subscription boxes, okay? This is a one-time purchase, so I have to make sure you understand that if you buy them now thinking you'll get them again next month, you're not going to. It's a one-time purchase. There are so many beautiful colors in those two boxes, and I didn't even use all of my favorite colors. I only used some of them. There's still a lot left for me to play with. But I wanted to design something with the two boxes where I really showcased the colors and the beauty of bicones. So I came up with these two rings here, and I did not realize it until I went to go film this, but I kind of did a seasonal colorway again. I did this before in the past. I did beaded bottles, and I didn't realize it till I went to edit the video that I actually had a beaded bottle for each season. It was crazy. I really did. I had summer, winter, spring, fall. I'll put a picture up now if you want to see it. That was really weird how I did that. So this one here, it does really look like fall colors to me. It's a very different colorway than I usually do, and I'm really liking it. And I'm in love with my new ring band. This is the second time that I'm doing it with you guys. This one here is the summer colorway, and the one I'm doing in the tutorial is going to be for spring. And I think this one is probably going to be my favorite because all of these colors are totally me. And in case you're wondering about this ring here, I also have a tutorial on this ring. I will link the tutorial down below, okay? And I also had made this ring with another box from beadingschool.com. It was their romantic box, and I will probably link that down below. Actually, if you go and watch the tutorial, you'll see the link for this beads that I used down below in the description bar of the other video. So I think what I'm going to do, if you like the colorways that I came up with, I think I'm going to list down below the colors that I used from the box so you can make the same exact ring. So you'll see the fall ring down there. You'll see a list of all the colors that I chose for the fall ring. I'll have a list for all the colors that I chose for the summer ring, and a list for all the colors that I chose for the spring ring. And there are still colors left over if you want to make one for winter. And if you make one for winter, you will still have more beads left over. The box is completely loaded down. I think there was 550 beads in one box, and then if you get two of them, you're doubling that. So huge amount of crystals. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna have a blast. Here is the list of materials you will need to make this ring. You will need to cut 4.5 feet of 8-pound fireline. You're also going to need a size 10 beading needle, and you're going to need 3 different sizes of Preciosa bicones. I'm using 3, 4, and 6, but I'm using 6 different colors, and I'm going to show you how I came up with my color combinations. Okay, so the ring is designed with the smallest bead to the largest, and I first started with the small 3 millimeter color that I liked, so I started with fuchsia. This ring is going to be my example, and then the next size has to be 4 millimeter, and I really like those two together, and then the next size has to be 6 millimeter, so see, they look great together. And then the next size that I have to do is the 4 millimeter, and then I have to pick a 3 and then a 6 millimeter bicone. So these are the sizes that we are going to be working with in order of the ring. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because first of all, I want to show you how I came up with my color layout for these two rings in case you're using beads from your stash. And also, The first two colors here on the top are going to have to be the colors in your ring band, because in the box we only get 25 3 millimeters in each color and 25 4 millimeters in each color. And in the 6 millimeter we get 10 beads in each bag. Okay, so those are the amounts we get in each bag in the two boxes. So the first two colors will have to be in your ring band. And see what I'm talking about? Yeah, because these two here in this area of the ring, we will be using a lot of those. Okay, going around there. So that's why we use the first two colors in the ring band. So that's the placement of the sizes and how I came up with the color placement. And now let's go over the amounts of beads. So again, this is how my colors are going to be laid out in my ring, and these are the sizes that I have to use. Alright, so starting at the top of the ring, you're going to need 23 millimeter Preciosa bicones, and this is going to be the top of my ring, and remember this will also be in my ring band, so that's why I have so many of them here. You're also going to need 12 4 millimeter, 6 6 millimeter, 12 4 millimeter, and 12 3 millimeter, and 6 6 millimeter. Okay, so those are the numbers there. And then for my seed beads, I'm using 11-0 Miyuki dark bronze, and then I'm using 15-0 Toho seed beads. And I find that with this ring band, because of how it's designed and how the beads fit together, I have to use Toho 15-0s in order to get this to work. Okay, so you probably won't want to go with Miyuki because they are smaller, and Tohos have like a thick chunkiness to them, and that's why they work so good. Alright, so this is the list of materials, and remember I will link these sun and moon boxes down below so you guys can make the same rings along with me. Let's get started. I'm going to start by picking up 6 3 millimeter bicones. This is the top center of my ring. Okay, there they are. Slide them down. And I'm going to leave a 6-inch tail so I can go back and reinforce this. So I just go like this. Measure the tail. Grab right here at the 6-inch mark. Hold it there with my fingers. Pass my beads through. My needles through my beads. And then go like that. Okay, we're not tying a knot here because we're going to be passing back through this area a lot, and I don't want to clog up my holes. And going through these beads twice is going to make this strong enough so it doesn't slip on us. Okay, so I'm just going to slide that right there. And alright, so there we go. Now I'm going to make sure that I have a circle, because sometimes this gets all mashed up. Okay, I have a good circle there. Looks good. I'm going to go for my second color in my second size, 4 millimeter. And I'm also going to pick up a 6 millimeter and another 4 millimeter. Now, whenever I do this stitch with bicones, especially with fireline, I always have to slide the beads down, and I'm constantly reminding myself to do this because I forget. Slide the beads down like this, take my needle, go through that first bead that I'm coming out of, go through a second 3 millimeter, so I'm actually going through 2. I want to hold all these beads right here in place. Okay, with my fingers, like this. I grab the needle and I pull all my thread through, keeping those beads in place. Do not let it get loose on you. And then I go like this, and I have perfect tension. If I don't slide them down every time, I always have loose thread, and then I have to fidget with it to get it just right. So I'm constantly reminding myself to do it like this. I pick up a 4 and a 6. This time we're ending with a 6 instead of doing a 4, a 6, and a 4, because we're going to be using this bicone here. So I'm going to go through this 4, through the 3, and through the next 3. I'm going through these 3 beads here. 4, 3, 3, Hold all the beads like this. I actually tug on that there. Pull the needle through. Don't let your beads get loose. And then, see how tight that is? It's perfect. Again, pick up. Slide them down, up through this four, through these beads. Slide those back down. Okay. I'm going to hold it like this. Pull my needle through. And there we go. I'm going to pick up another 4, a 6mm, slide them down. Take the needle, pass through this 4, through this 3, and through the next 3. Slide all the beads down like that. Okay, hold them in place. There we go. We're almost to the close. Pick up another 4, a 6, through this 4, this 3, the next 3, and through that 4 right there. Because we have 5 4mm bicones, we're picking up our 6th one right now. Okay, and my beads got loose, so I'm going to drop those back down. But they're on the wrong side, I have to be on this side. Okay, so just like this. Going through those 4 beads, I'm going to hold my 2 new beads in place and pull my needle through so that I have this. Pick up my 6mm in fuchsia, the last one. Pass through this 4. Okay, I'm going to hold this in place like that. So I have this, and then I'm going to go through this 4mm, not 4, it's a 3. I'm going to go through this 3 here, stop and turn, and I'm going to go out through this 4. Okay, pull all the thread through, and then I have to see which side is my tail on. My tail is on this side, so I want this to be my top. I'm going to hold it like this with my short tail here on the top. I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to pass through all of these 6mm on the outside edge here. Okay. I'm not going to pull this tight yet. I just need to get through all of these 6mm. See, I just loosely pull it through. We're going full circle. So you see my thread there? See how I started here? I went all the way around. This is the last bead I have to go through. The top of this ring works up quickly. It's the ring band that actually takes the most time and the most work. Okay, so I just pulled that tight and look at that. It's pretty. Okay, pulling that tight. Now I'm going to put one 11-0 Miyuki seed bead in between each 6mm bead. So I'm picking up one, pull that through like that, and I'm going to do this all the way around and put an 11-0 in between each 6mm bicone. That's what I have so far. I'll stop, pull it tight. Okay, I'll do another 11 through there. My last 11 in this row, I'm going to pass through this 6, and then I'll go through that 11-0, just like that. Okay, stop, make sure that's tight. I love those colors, they're so pretty. And then I'm going to do this bicone here. I'm going to pick up an 11, a 4mm, an 11, 4mm, 11, just one, like that. And I'm going to pass through the next seed bead. Okay, I'm going to repeat this all the way around. An 11, a 4, 11, 4, 11. Okay, through the next seed bead. Like that. 11, 4, 11, 4, 11. Pull it snug, and there we go. Again, I'm going to do this 3 more times. 11, 4, 11, 4, 11. Through the next seed bead. Again. Through the next seed bead. One more time. 11, 4, 11, 4, and 11. Do this seed bead here, the one that is in between the 6mm. Okay. And then I'm going to go through this 11-0, the 4mm, and the 11-0. We're stepping up to do our last row of bicones. So see, right now this is flat. It's really flat. But the next row I'm going to do is going to make it dome for us. This top domed, but this row we just did is flat. So to make it dome, I'm going to pick up a 3mm, a 6, and a 3. Just like this, and go through this 11-0. Okay. Another 3, 6, 3 through this 11. I'm going to stop on the second row and pull this tight. And in order to do that, I have to flip it upside down, push those 4s out there, and go like that so it starts to dome. Okay. I'm going to do it again. 3, 6, 3 through that seed bead. 3, 6, 3 through this seed bead here. Pull this tight. Okay. I'm going to pick up 3, a 6, and a 3. And go in that 11-0. Stop and pull it tight again. Pick up a 3, 6, and 3. This is my last row. I'm going to go through this 11 and out through this 3. Now usually when I make a piece like this, I go back around the outer edge and reinforce it at this point. But now I'm going to go to the ring band, and because of how the ring band is made, I have to go back into the base of this ring, which is the row that I just added, so I'm not going to reinforce this now. I'm going to go directly to adding the ring band. So I'm going to pick up, make sure my thread is kind of straightened out here. I'm going to pick up 5 11/0s, okay, a 4mm, and then 2 11/0s, like that. Slide those down. It's very important to keep really good tension right now. I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to pass, hold it like this. I'm going to pass to that center seed bead like this, okay? I'm going to put my fingers here. I'm going to grab this thread that my beads are on, pull that tight, because I don't want my ring to loosen up on me. I want this to be domed. So pull that tight, and I'm going to pass this needle through. Okay? And you should have this. See how these just went around like that? I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads, and I'm going to go through, I'll flip it over, this bicone in this 11/0. We're going to be making an X here. I have to go through this bicone, and because I'm right-handed, I'm going to turn this around. Okay, those seed beads there are supposed to be going in to form an X. Alright, there, I just did it. Pushed them in. I'm going to take my needle, repositioning it so we can add more beads. I'm going to pass through these 5 seed beads. Like that. Okay, and let's see, do I have any slack in this row? No, I don't. It looks good. Okay, I don't see any exposed threads, so I'm going to keep on going with my ring band. And now I'm going to take the needle and pass through the 4mm. Okay, I'm going to repeat. I'm going to pick up 5 11/0 seed beads, and then a 4mm bicone, 2 11/0 seed beads, slide them all down so it looks like this. I'm going to take the needle and I'm going to go through the middle seed bead there of the group of 5, okay? Make sure all of these are slid down, hold them like this between your fingers, and pull them through. This again is so you don't have slack like we did with the bicones earlier. Okay, so you have this right here. I'm going to pick up 2 11s again, and I'm going to pass through this 4. Okay, and I do come back and I push it in right here so it forms an X, and then I take the needle and I pass through these 5 because I have to step up just like that, and then I go through the 4, and I will be fast forwarding this because this ring band does take some time and it's repetitive. Okay, so just like that. Again, repeating, we're going to pick up 5 11/0s, a 4mm, and 2 11/0s. Slide them all down. Hold it like this. Find your center seed bead there of your 5. Hold these between your fingers, just like this, so there's no slack. So see how it looks like that? I'm going to pick up 2 and go back into this bicone here. Okay, I'll straighten these out, my seed beads there. I want that X shape. like that. Take the needle, pass through, and when we put the 3mm bicone in these gaps, it's gonna really make that shape stay like that, okay? So I'm going through those 5, and I'm going to pass my needle down through this one. Like that. So you just keep going and doing this, and I do 6 bicones, 4mm bicones. Okay, so 5 again, a bicone, and 2 seed beads. Go like this, pass the needle for the middle one, slide all those beads down, like that, hold these in place, pull the needle and thread through until I have this, and then I pick up 2 11s, I go back through that bicone there, okay, stop, adjust my beads, sometimes you don't have to, and then go back through these 5, and then go through this 4mm, and repeat again. I kept on going, and here I am on my last bicone, and now I have to connect this to the other side, so I'm going to pick up 5 11-0 seed beads, slide them down. I'm going to hold the ring like this, so this is the back side, okay? This right side here is going to come straight across, but I'm not going to go into the right side. I'm actually going to go here into the left bicone. I'm passing through that 11-0 seed bead there. Pull this through. And I'm also going to go through this 3mm. Okay, so I'm putting my finger in there. So I'm connected like this. Now I have to pick up 2 seed beads. And I'm going to go through this middle one, like this. I'm going to pull this tail tight though, hold that in place, pull that through. So I have this, pick up 2 11s again, and I'm going to go through my bicone. Okay. And then I'm just going to form my X pattern like that. Take the needle, go through these, okay, go through this bicone here in the 11-0, go through this bicone, pull that tight, and then after that 3mm bicone I am going to sew back into the top of my ring here, because we need to reinforce this, make it stiffer. So I'm going to go through all the bottom beads. Okay, 3 millimeters, 11/0s, and the 6 millimeters. I'm gonna go all the way through over here. Now I'm on this side, and I'm going to sew directly down through this 11/0 C bead right here. Okay, I'm gonna stop, pull it tight. Looks good. Okay, I'm gonna pick up a 3 millimeter and put it right here in this gap, and this bead fits perfectly in here like a little puzzle piece. My thread just came off my needle. Okay, and then I'm going to do two 15/0 seed beads in front of the 4 millimeter. And I will be fast forwarding through this because I don't want this video to be forever, but we're going to be repeating the same thing over and over, putting a 3 millimeter in this space here, and then putting two 15s right here in front of the 4. Pull it tight. Another 3 right here. Two 15s. Another 3. Okay, and I'm just going to keep going, filling in the edge just like this over and over until I get over here, and I'll show you what to do next. I'm back over here. I have to pick up my last 3 millimeter bicone. I'm going to go through this 11. Okay, and then I'm going to sew back into this, and we're not just reinforcing the outer edge of this ring here, but we're also connecting it right here, the band to this part. So far the band's only connected by these 3 millimeter bicones, but right now we're connecting it even more with this 6 millimeter bead. Okay, so again I'm just going to sew through this outer side, going back to the other side of my ring band. Okay, I'm going to sew up through this 3 millimeter bicone through the 11/0 seed bead, turn through this bicone, and let's see, that's what it looks like. So I'm going to take my needle now and go through this 11/0, and I'm going to copy the other side of my ring band, picking up a 3 and then two 15s, a 3, like that, two 15s, and I'm just going to repeat this, copying the other side of my ring band. Okay, I'm now all the way over here so you can see my work. What I have to do now is pick up my last 3mm bicone, go up through this 11/0 seed bead there in the band, and I'm now going to make a thread path right here because I don't have one here yet on this side. So I'm going to pass through all these beads. Okay, I'm going to go down through this 11/0 now and come out through that 3mm right there. Okay, so now, oh my gosh, look at that. My tail picked up a bead. That's weird. So now I'm connected on this corner, and on these two corners. So my band is connected to more than just the middle there. It's also connected to the sides. That's how I like it to be, nice and strong. So now I have to pick up 4 15/0s at a time and pass through this 3mm bicone. Just like that. And this is super easy. We're going to be doing this all the way around. 4 at a time and through the next bead. Through this bead. That is so pretty. Okay, now do I want to go this way, loop around and come back to there, or should I reinforce my ring again? Let's see, I have enough tail. I think I'm gonna go this way, but before I do, I need to go through that 11 there, and then I can sew around this edge. Okay, I'm gonna go through these two here, and then through this bicone, through these two beads, okay, and then I'm just going to copy this over here. Do the same thing on this side. So 4 15s at a time, and then pass through the next 3mm. Just like that, and go all the way around. And I will be back. Last 4, I'm gonna go up through this bicone, and while I'm at it, I'm gonna go through that 11/0 into my needle there, or not my needle, my band, so I can get through. Okay, and there we go. We now have our ring band complete. So pretty. We are ready to tie knots now. Okay, so once you have your ring band all done, finishing this off is pretty easy. What I like to do is, with my working tail, I take it back through the outer edge bicones here, and I tie knots in these bicones. And then I go through these, I go around here, and I just tie multiple knots, filling in. I like to secure and make the outer edge really strong, so I pass through it, I think, a second time, because that's about how long my thread is. A second time, and tying knots to use up thread. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you. I'm going to pass through one bicone here. Okay, so I'm directly right here on the side. Go through there, and then take the needle, pass underneath, make a loop, and pass through this loop twice. Like that. Pull the knot down, and go through this bicone and through the seed bead. Wiggle through. Okay, and then I tie another knot here, or I can pass through this bead and tie a knot there, then go through that bead, and I tie knots, and I go through beads, and I go all the way around, reinforcing it, tying knots, okay, with that one. And then once you go around, you reinforce, you make the stronger, tie knots, cut that off, of course, and then put your needle onto this thread. And with this one, I don't bother going around the top again. I already went through there twice. I like to go down through this 4mm. I then go through this 6mm, and then I go through that 11/0 seed bead there in the center. I drop down through this 11/0, and I tie a knot right here in front of the 4mm. I go through this 11/0, I can tie another knot there, go through that 4mm, and I stay in this edge right here, this row with the double AB, I think they were tanzanite bicones. I stay in this row right here, and I just go up and down, reinforcing, tying knots, going through the row of 4mm there, in between the fuchsia and the green bicones. And that's it. I go around reinforcing, tying knots, making it really strong, and there we go. That's my finished ring. It is so pretty. I think this one's my favorite because this is all my favorite colors. And here they all are together. So this is it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. What a sparkly ring. Major shine right there. Super sparkly. Love it. Now remember, I will link the Sun and Moon boxes down below in the description bar. There's still so many beads left in those two boxes. You'll be able to make several rings if you want to with this box. And also, you can use the bicones to make this ring here. And this color right there that I used in this ring is in the Sun and Moon boxes, and I just didn't use it. I don't know why. I was trying to go with different colors because I already had used those colors in that ring. I was trying to do something different, I guess. So this is it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and make sure you click the bell button so that you get notified when I upload new videos. And check me out on my social media sites. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Thanks for watching.